Stephen,
Andrew,
fancy spending a quiet night inside number 9?
as always, of course.
Well, we're at the end of the script book visit.
Odyssey?
Don't think we ever named this sort of adventure.
I have no, it's an Odyssey.
It's an Odyssey. We're at the end of the script
The
book.
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
That's our next thing. It's 3 weeks of Homer.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever read that?
I have never read that, so this seems like a perfect opportunity.
Really good idea. Strong idea. Yeah, the Odyssey that has been our dive into the script book of series 1 to 3 so far, as we've got that.
As have been released.
That's a better phrase.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Private View is where we're finishing. And as always, we'd suggest, if you haven't heard our initial reaction episode to that episode, then go back and listen to that first, because we will probably avoid going over all of that stuff again. We will just be looking at things in the script that we've noticed are maybe not in the episode. Things like that. So,
But I like you've really distilled down what this has been for the last
3 series.
of episodes.
18 episodes to get this right, and I've failed.
If you hadn't realised, we don't retread old ground. Sometimes we do. We don't aim to. Here's what was missing.
All right, Mr. Pithy.
There's no need to get offensive, mate.
So, what was your kind of initial thoughts to following this along with the script book?
I realised that this was like the only all-out slasher flick episode, really, isn't it? Very much like Scream, or
It is.
such. And I don't know where Reese in particular falls on slasher picks within his like love of horror, whether it's something that he kind of sees as less valid, or I don't know. It's just interesting.
I don't know.
This was like the only one like this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they are all very different in their own ways, but yeah, I really like it. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more this time, mainly because I knew exactly what was coming. It's very funny.
Yeah,
Like Joan's hilarious,
he is.
but she also seems to be the only person that has cut lines all the way through
There
it.
are a lot of cut lines.
Joan again. Joan's gone again.
And if by Joan you mean Jean.
Jean.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Wrong vowel. I can't read my own vowels. Jean's hilarious. Joan was cut completely.
Joan didn't. Yeah, she didn't have a part in this. But yeah, I think I was kind of looking at that, thinking maybe some of her lines are a bit excessive, and some of them maybe allude to the fact that she is the killer, or could sort of shine a light on that a little bit.
Some felt a little bit like they didn't know she was going to be the killer right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
There was one in particular at the beginning, or fairly near the beginning, when they were first talking about the exhibition. I kind of felt like it almost felt like needless misdirection. What was it?
Was it the bit where Jean is saying, now people aren't going to be jumping out at me, are they? I've never been to anything like this before.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Yeah, which would make sense as like needless misdirection, because it's like going so far the other way.
Yeah, that's what made me think maybe she wasn't flagged as the actual killer when they first started writing this, because that she doesn't need to say that at all. No one's is she trying to put them off the scent when she doesn't really need to, because no one really suspects her of being a mass murderer at that point. And she's going to tell them all at the end anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, pretty much everything I had that disappeared was Jean all the way through. Jean's gone, Jean's gone, Jean's gone. Some bits that were just particularly silly. But like I say, she was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, she's so good. She's a brilliant character. That bit you just talked about comes just after the change from a Cat 4 to a Cat 5 webbing in the signal booster. I don't know anything about all of that stuff, but
oh yeah, I've got it. Yeah,
I don't know if there was a an upgrade in between writing the script and filming it. Or
I don't have to buy one, do I? I don't think so. Good, my husband would kill me. I bought 2 ice creams at the Lion King, £8. Think how much bread you can get for that. As though that was a choice.
Yeah, bread or ice cream.
I also found there was a couple of bits that, like the fire scar, almost felt a little unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of could have been enough that she had just had a. Although I guess it explained why she ended up with the skin graft.
Yeah,
and they added in the champagne burning.
Mm-hmm.
that was not scripted at all. There was the thing where, but Jean did make reference to the champagne burning her. So again, that was aimed at Patricia instead, wasn't it? That line was aimed at Patricia about it giving her a burn, and then later on, there's the smoke pouring out of
Carrie.
What was her name?
Carrie,
yeah, smoke pouring out of her face and her burnt lips.
Yeah, I want to know how she plucked out Patricia's eyes. That's a pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that changed because in the script the glasses were off, but they had the reveal, which I think was the right call because it's.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to lift up the glasses and see them there.
And then yes, there you go.
Yeah, you're right. What did she do that with? The stilettos.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty awful. Yeah. The other bits that she had cut were during the Elliot's voiceover bit. She was making the odd comment that, and I think the look on her face was enough to give a reverence and a sense of like when you go back and watch it, knowing what you know by the end, it's like she's looking with a love, with a sense of like connection to Elliot. And then so the thing
I think she would stay quiet.
I think so.
Instead of wisecracking her way through it.
Yeah. Because like there's the bit after all the big important questions. Who are we? How did we come to be here? And if all the wheels are staged, and where does the audience sit? In the script, it's then got Jean whispering, he's left a gap there for us to laugh, but no one did. And then...
Yeah, that almost isn't in tone, is it? Because, yeah, she wouldn't... I've made a note here. It's kind of they've cut out some of the silly bits involving the voiceover because it's not really keeping in tone with the way she should be feeling about her late son's voice being heard in a room with his face saying these things.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was also the beginning of the... So is that what you mean? Like the beginning of the voiceover where it basically starts with it saying, "Hello, everyone. I'm over here."
Yeah, that was all a bit weird.
Yeah.
As if he comes across as very, very sure about his work and very serious about it and not particularly playful about it at all. And that would be an odd setup for that.
So he basically starts by saying, "Hello, everyone. Everybody, I'm over here." Everybody looks around but can't figure out where the voice is coming from. Elliot voiceover, "Up here. Can you see me now?"
Yeah.
Morris spots that a projection of Elliot's face has begun speaking from the head on the main plinth. He walks towards it, and others begin to gather round to watch. Yes, that's right. Welcome. But actually, how it plays out is everyone's sort of gathered round naturally anyway. Like that does seem like an unnecessary use of probably 20 seconds or so.
Yeah,
that would take a little while
when time's tight. Yeah.
Yeah. The question I had. So Jean, talking about the vape. So Kenneth's talking about like the fact it's obviously a battery powered cigarette, e-cigarette. And do you hear Lauren permitted to use it in any public space that hasn't been fitted with a vape alarm? Jean says, "Oh, I had one of them, but it kept going off in Argos." Obviously, she means like a rape alarm.
I think so. Yeah.
Why Argos? What? There's something about Argos that
I don't know. I guess is she a frequent visitor to Argos? Is she and just happens to go off in her bag in there? Is it just a very specific place?
Do you set it? Do you have to set it off yourself?
No, I think you do. It's kind of got. I think it's like a little pull thing.
Mm-hmm.
You like if you separate two bits, then it goes off. So maybe it was detaching and going off, but just in Argos.
Yeah, that was.
Just be specific. It's the Garibaldi.
Yeah, but why Argos?
It's funnier than when I'm out shopping.
True. Yeah, well, there may be. I don't know. I'll put it out there to listeners. Is there a specific reason Argos. Why Argos might be referenced there?
Our sponsor, Smith's Toys, asked us to ask that question.
Well, I was thinking, like, yeah, I mean, there's potentially some sort of libelous stuff against Argos there.
Look, I've never been physically assaulted in Argos. Ever.
No,
I've never felt
I don't think
in Argos.
I felt a bit angry sometimes when somebody comes after, like they arrive afterwards and they get their thing through first.
I think that's just like stockroom layout. I don't think it's the universe being horrible to you.
Okay, I haven't been for a while. Actually.
You wouldn't set off an alarm anyway, would you?
No, not for that.
Right, that's it.
Some little teacher digs were cut out. Patricia asking Morris, are we saying Morris or Maurice?
It's Morris.
Space Cowboy.
Whoop, whoop.
Are you an artist yourself? I dabble from time to time. I teach art history. Those who can, do. Those who can't, teach. Absolutely. And those who can't teach, teach PE. See you at the other end. That was cut.
Yeah.
Are you glad that was cut?
I don't teach PE.
I hate that idea.
Rope.
Yeah. Don't think it's right.
I don't think so either. But hey, each to their own.
Indeed. Yeah, and a little dig at Patricia. I'm not blind. I'm visually impaired. Jean whispers to Kenneth, "Judging by your makeup, it's the same thing." Patricia, I beg your pardon. No, it looks good. I'm a big fan of clowns. Come on.
Her bit at the beginning where she's just finding it hilarious that a blind person's going around an art gallery and being led around.
Which is when you know that she's the one who's invited her. It's like, that's quite...
It's a horrible thing
to
do.
Very horrible.
Jean is horrible, but very funny with it.
Yeah. She's very funny. She's very funny. And this does have one of the funniest moments where in that toilet scene where she's like, "It's horrible in there." And is it Morris? Then says, Why don't you just flush it?
Yeah. That's the thing about this episode is it's just the horrific things that are going on. I guess almost over the top in terms of some of the gore that's on display is almost deliberately a bit gratuitous, just with the stupid lines and just the silliness, the farcical, almost carry on kind of. Literally carry on during certain points.
There is, isn't there? Yeah, it's got that because there's kind of a Saw vibe to it in terms of like the picking off one by one of people in, or Saw 2, I think it would be.
And they deserve it, and there's a reason for how they're being killed, and all those sorts of things. Yeah,
yeah. But then it's broken up with ridiculous. Yeah, mainly I think the carry on humor. Yeah, exactly.
The farcical stuff. But then she just drops in a line like, "I love the kids, but I barely managed to keep mine in one piece." Ooh.
Yeah, which is the heart of things, really.
It is the heart of things. Well done.
Thank you.
I mean,
it's all a collage.
Speaking of that, I still want to know the logistics behind the clear up and the cover up at the very end.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, there's a lot missing in the police.
There almost needs to be a parallel episode running alongside this, where an underworld cleanup team turn up to get rid of all the bodies. The same people as in the bill, perhaps.
Indeed.
Maybe they could call them in.
Yeah. Were they real?
No, well,
imagined.
Just because they weren't used then doesn't mean they don't exist.
No, true. Yeah, because it's like all those body parts belong to people who are now missing or have been discovered dead.
And very easy to sort of test that, isn't it? Or if you drop in formaldehyde, does it stop being easy? So I don't know. I don't know about autopsies and things.
Yeah, there's a few little Carrie lines that got cut as well. The odd bit about Madame Two Swords, and then
Carrie did get rid of the word apparently when talking about letting herself down or lowering herself on or something. When she was talking to Patricia, and Patricia was talking about things in... I've lowered myself once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best way to do it. No, apparently.
She also threw in an I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Yes, she did.
Extra. Another extra thing was Peter Kay.
Spill my Ritz.
Yeah, which sounded like the sort of thing Peter Kay would probably.
It did. That was a Kayism.
Yeah.
A Kay ad-lib.
A cadlib. Yeah, other than that, like, there's not a huge amount. Really.
It's just the odd little bit here and there, and I think it's just that running theme of Gene, really.
Yeah.
A mixture of stuff that might have been cut for time was off in terms of tone, and maybe was just a bit much here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And the addition of a little bit of stylistic gore with fizzing bodies and plucked out eyes hidden behind glasses.
And the music's really interesting in this one. It's very understated, but it's quite creepy. Like, it's that sort of generic electronic sort of like elevator music, but hipster electronic.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it has a sinister, I don't know, a kind of an otherworldly, non-human aspect to it. Like it's a weird, good choice.
I guess and that's quite believable that's music that's existing in the room as well, because it fits with the tone of what's been set up with like the face projection and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, just a very dehumanized. The whole thing is quite dehumanized, like clinical, empty, cavernous, sort of
with the plastic curtains.
Yeah,
up around the place.
The vibe of the whole thing is pretty like that. Yeah,
which is weird because underlying all this is a very human thing, and the greatest sacrifice you can kind of make as a human being is dishing out your body parts to save other people. That's a very and this is all about those flawed human characters who waste what they've been given
in the eyes of Jean.
Yeah, apart from the Morris one, I like the fact it acknowledges what a stretch that is.
Yeah,
he became heartless.
I mean, all of it is because there's no suggestion that this is what Elliot wanted.
No,
it's just Jean, and it's almost like Jean is assuming that like Elliot's sacrifice of all of these organs killed him.
And that's also what's also true is that you're right, all of them are a serious stretch, really. I mean, I guess Peter Kay's eating is really the only direct one you can draw, and I'm not saying that's reasonable, but almost you are literally abusing the organ that you were donated. Kenneth's using an e-cigarette, so that's not.
Yeah, so he's
deliberately
coming off the cigarettes.
Yep. Using your eyes to view the pornography you write.
I know that. It's a stretch. That is a stretch.
And tattooing your skin.
Well, the skin. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's. I mean, as Maurice said,
Maurice, crazy old Maurice.
Yeah, it's art. It's like you're actually using that skin for something
as a canvas.
Yeah,
which I imagine Elliot would have been
all
right with. Yeah. So yeah, she's got a bee in her bonnet. Because Elliot said
Carrie's probably abusing her liver.
I guess so. Yeah. Yes. The drinking and the eating are probably the ones that maybe she's got a point.
Yeah, but she doesn't have a right to.
No. But you said it's probably not what Elliot would have wanted. It's not what he wanted. It's the whole thing was set up. He wanted that done just to bring those people back together, and it was going to be a living exhibition, a living art exhibition of these people are all benefiting from what I couldn't use anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's incredibly human, but that's all stripped away. Does that mean any of the art in there his? If the whole point of the exhibition was just to bring them together and they were going to be the exhibition,
they are the art. Yeah.
Has Jean just been pulling apart mannequins and sticking them on boards and putting knives in chairs? And going, it's an art.
She has, yeah. Well, especially the chair, because
the chair, it's her murder weapon.
Yeah.
So it's all just Jean.
And then do you think she would blame that on Elliot? Because people are going to find that as a.
Well, I think you can. Where's the line between creating art that is so dangerous that it's a murder weapon when it comes to a chair? A chair with spikes aimed at your kidneys.
Where's the line?
Where's the line? I don't know. Where's the line between art and a murder weapon? Because, like, it was called, like, Make Yourself Comfortable, wasn't it?
Mm.
So it was an ironic thing of you can't sit on this chair and be comfortable.
That's true.
That passes. That's fine. I'm struggling a little bit, like, thematically around what else is in that exhibit. Just some exploded mannequins.
Yeah. Yeah, because none of the rest. I mean, she just plucked out Patricia's eyes. That wasn't an exhibit.
There were no more props,
No.
were there? Art props.
Suffocated Kenneth.
Bag on his head, yeah.
Poisoned Carrie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And used the fact Kenneth had knocked out Morris. I don't know how she was planning on removing his heart.
I'm just going to knock him out with some sort of injected anesthetic.
But she was, yeah. Which, again, isn't a bit of art.
Syringe.
Yeah, so maybe there was just the one art exhibit, which was make yourself comfortable.
Is that the only piece?
Mm. And that, there's not much nuance in that, because it's
No.
that kind of, yeah, I see what you mean. Like, yeah, a chair with knives on, call it make yourself comfortable. Yeah, you're not going to be comfortable sitting on a couple of knives. But it's not.
Or bunches of knives.
It's not a particularly sort of clever piece, because it's like it doesn't really have a crossover to any real life application in terms of you're not making a comment about a certain way of sitting that might be dangerous for you at some.
It's like having a toaster that just electrocutes you when you turn it on. It's just called enjoy your toast.
Yeah.
That's essentially what.
Exactly.
This is rubbish.
Well, I can't enjoy my toast because I'm electrocuted.
Yeah. I'm toasted.
That's
I'm the one getting toasted. There you go.
That's quite good.
It is still a toaster. It's toast to you.
Yeah, no, that's quite clever.
Thanks, mate.
That's more clever. Yeah.
Is that cleverer than bunches of knives on a seat?
Well, yeah, because you just don't. It's not like you have knives on. People do get electrocuted by a toaster. People do get toasted. Just to, make toast in the bath or whatever. I think that's the thing, isn't it?
I don't think that's why the toaster gets dropped in the bath.
Well, it's toast the human.
It's not like a Wallace and Gromit thing to set up you having toast in the mornings.
Mm.
It automatically does it all while you're in the bathroom.
Yeah. I don't think I've got much more to say. We've got to, get some sleep before we go to London.
That is sneaking up on us.
Yeah, so if anyone's around for that, for the old, 29th of October?
It is the 29th.
Let us know. It'd be great to see people. Got any ideas for what we might do in the future? Let us know. We will work something out.
This makes it sound like really driven to keep producing content.
Well,
we've got some new books coming out hopefully soon.
Yes, that's true.
Well, we've got an entire book to go through. An Insider's Guide to Inside Number 9 will be in our hands at that event. So we'll just pull that apart.
Cool. And as always, if you've got anything you want to share with us, do get in touch via email. quietnightinside09@gmail.com or via Twitter @AQNIN9. Anything else?
I think so.
I think we're done. Cool. All right. We'll see you soon.
So long.
Bye-bye.